Our final SAM talk comes from Howard Slater. Howard is principal at Cedarbrook Financial Partners and a partner in the firm's practice of Mannon, Monday, Slater, and Barshane. He specializes in comprehensive financial planning for high net worth individuals and closely held business owners. He's completed his Master's of Science in Financial Services from the American College. Lives in the Cleveland area with his wife, Debbie, and their 2 daughters. Today, Howard's going to share with you that even in dark times, you can always find favorable light. So please welcome Howard Slater.
Come on up for the rising. Come on up, lay your hands in mine.
I'm suspended. I just got a message from Washington that I'm going to be suspended from my profession, my career. The profession and career that I've worked 20 years passionately in was going to be taken away from me. So much of our self-image can be tied to our professional success, and for me, this felt like a near-death experience. Everything is dark. I feel a prisoner to the moment. I feel alone. It's hard. It's hard to see anything favorable right now in the darkness. It's not easy in challenging times to see things favorably. When those proverbial black clouds come in, seem to overtake everything in our lives or somebody else's lives that you care about. It's not easy to not let outside situations define you. Not to be brought down by the whispering voices, the judging glances, the negative views. It's not easy to see in the darkness, to see darkness in a favorable light. But the reality of it is, even in darkness, there is light. So, like many of you, going through life, enjoying the view, things are good, beautiful mountains, scenes, fresh air, feels good. Going through life in the fast lane, if you will, taking what appears to be the obvious road. Then, that someone to you or your situation, it hits you. That black cloud comes in, a huge pile up in life, and the what the hell happened moment happens. I'm not in the office. I can't communicate with anybody. I can't talk to my clients. I can't talk to my colleagues. I'm persona non grata. In my story, I'm that guy. I'm right there, going, what the hell happened? I can't find perspective. I was a professional photographer for many years and still enjoy it as a hobby. And as any photographer will tell you, the slightest change in angle, the slightest change in perspective, different lens, different elevation, different quality of light, changes the whole scene, creates a whole new image. So you shift, you look, you think differently, you rotate at the same spot, and look, the mountains are still there. The road is still there. The road forward does still exist. So even with my what the hell happened moment happening and being battered left and right from the outside, my inside is still me, my passions, who I really am, my internal light, if you will. I'm not going to let these outside forces define me. You feel dimmed, you feel worn out, and you're wondering, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do with my time? I knew I had to redirect. I knew that I had to do something different. I had to share my passions, because that's what I've been doing for 20 years. Helping clients be successful, energizing them, inspiring them. That's what I've been doing full time. But I couldn't go down that path for now. That path was gone. And we all have that issue at times. Choosing a different path redirecting ourselves. Sometimes we choose to do it, sometimes we don't. I had to let that past image go. I had to refocus to move forward. So I knew what I needed to do. I had to work my mindset. I came to the realization that, listen, this is not just about being a financial planner and advisor. More so, I'm a teacher. I have the ability to inspire people. I've taught within the industry. I've taught outside the industry. I love teaching. It energizes me. So I thought about teaching math and reading to inner city kids. I thought about setting up financial literacy programs and entrepreneurship programs for high school kids. In regards to the inner city, quite frankly, I was very ignorant of the educational system and the day-to-day challenges that these kids and teachers face. Really ignorant of the situation. And so I thought I'd purposely put myself in a situation where hopefully somebody that's educated, that could serve as a good role model, would have an impact. One of the things that the other more experienced volunteers would tell me when I first started was, listen, things are going to be a little different in this school district that you're working in. It's not what you expect. These kids are going to come in often, they haven't gone to the bathroom, they haven't slept well, probably haven't had any breakfast, and it's going to be hard for them to pay attention to anything you're saying. So check in with them, particularly about eating. So I did. Kids would come in and one-on-one, and I'd check with them, and more than half the time, they hadn't eaten. At the school that I worked at, over 75% of the kids came from single-parent homes. Over 80% were at poverty level for the county that I was working in. Third graders just like yours, just like mine, starving for attention, starving for knowledge, sometimes literally just starving. One particular boy that I was fond of and I really had a great connection, he would invariably come in late. And for whatever reason, he missed breakfast at home and he missed breakfast at school because the cafeteria was already closed. So I said, come on, Devon, let's go down to the cafeteria, let's see if we can get some food. So we walked down to the cafeteria, and the ladies behind the counter would politely say, well, sorry, the cafeteria is closed. And I said, I know the cafeteria is closed, but I'd like to get him some breakfast. He's a little hungry. Cafeteria is closed. Well, I see you've got some apples over there. How about some apples for him? Well, they're 65 cents. I said, okay. So dig in my pocket, here's $1. They go, well, we can't take the $1. And I go, why not? Well, we can't give change. I said, well, keep the $1, give me the apple, and let's move on, because the kid needs something to eat. And this was the little dance we did. So then I started bringing edamame beans to the school. One, I like them. My wife tells me, my doctor tells me they're very healthy for you, so I figured, okay. And so I brought them in school, and I started giving them out to the kids as a snack and stuff like that, and boy, they really liked them. In fact, they liked them so much that when I would start to come in the school in the morning, and there's all the chaos in the hallways and everything, and everybody's getting their stuff away, I'd start to hear, Mr. Slater, you got the stuff? Mr. Slater, did you bring it? Can I have some more? Mr. Slater, more, can I have some stuff? And I realized what that sounded like in the hallways of this inner city school, that I was basically dealing drugs to these kids. The white guy was dealing drugs. And I said, oh, the edamame beans. Yes, I got the edamame beans, very loud. I felt like the Walter White of Breaking Bad dealing in edamame beans in the school. But what I was really doing, I was sharing my light with them in ways that I didn't even appreciate. Energizing the kids to grasp math and reading, and the older kids, financial literacy and entrepreneurship. Helping the high school kids understand the excitement and the opportunities in the business world and entrepreneurship world. I was brightening their lives, and I was fortunate to be in their lives. I was fortunate to be there with them. So I'm back in my practice for a while now. I've had the opportunity to share this story with advisors around the country, the privilege of sharing it with you today. Understandably so, there have been many lessons learned. I had some strong reaffirmation from a wide variety of people, both in the industry and out, that, hey, this was a real crisis, and you handled it well. You took the not obvious path. Most people wouldn't have done that. And it wasn't easy, but you did it. But I haven't stopped sharing my light. In fact, it's a we. Debbie and I are now involved with a great program called College Now, where we're mentoring first-generation inner-city kids that are attending college. We get to work with them for 4 to 5 years. Very powerful. I'm continuing to teach financial literacy programs in high schools and entrepreneurship programs. And Debbie and I just formed the Sophia Rose Entrepreneurship Center to help high school kids understand the power of entrepreneurship in their future, just like many of you have appreciated in your life. So life happens. Some things aren't easy. Those proverbial big clouds come in, darken everything, you can't see straight. But ultimately, it's about your perspective. It's about your ability to see in the dark, to see darkness in a more favorable fashion. This was mine. This was my story. Everybody has their own. This is what I learned from it. There are some people that can't succeed because they don't have the energy to learn basic math. They don't have that apple. I went from worrying about myself and my professional career to worrying if Devon could get an apple in the morning and I can give out some more edamame beans so they could at least pay attention for a little bit while we had time together. So now I was focused on somebody else, not just me. It's important to have a fresh perspective, particularly when the outside world is trying to define you in a way that's negative and dark. Only you can allow yourself to see light and light in others. And here's the best part. This is the best part of the whole thing. It doesn't cost you anything. Think about it. An existing candle burning brightly. You can light an unlit candle from that candle and create new energy. New energy from an existing source. And you didn't take anything away from that existing source. We all have this internal light in us. What's your favorable light? Share it. Thank you.